Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nanyang Championships here. We are deep into heat number 3, and we're about to hop into game number 2 of Virtus.Pro going against Team Liquid here. It's a battle for the top position of their group. Lumi joining my side, but also on the panel, we got Winter and, of course, Sheever here. And, well, game number 1, Team Liquid did a Team Liquid draft. Virtus.Pro were prepared for it, though. They pulled out the Illidan Drow, along with, of course, the Lil Visage, and they kind of took over and took control. So let's see if Liquid change things up a bit from their standard draft. Draft is actually well underway, so we can probably hop into that as soon as they're ready to go. But what do you think? Change of pace? Probably the smart thing to do.
Well, I thought so, and then I saw Virtus.Pro thinking, well, you know, what we're also really good at, picking Brood second, as they just did.
What a bold call.
What a bold call. But they have, of course, DK Phobos learning from Lang, the same person that trained Mag on the Brood, and then they go into the draft. No.
Draft.
Into the draft.
To the draft.
To the draft. Okay. But then at the same time, we've actually seen Vega do it very successfully. So I'm quite hyped to see Virtus.Pro try it. And and to be fair, right now, Virtus.Pro, if they lose this game, if this turns into a 1-1, they are tied. There's gonna probably be tiebreakers if they lose. And now there's still up in the air because there's still games to be played in Group A after this as well. But they kind of have to win this to avoid that and to just secure their place. So they're gonna play things they know, things they know is strong.
Like everyone knows VP is really good with the early phase Brood pick though. So I'm not really surprised that they actually chose the Brood versus the Tusk Undying. Because Tusk Undying wants to force pressure lanes against the carry. And when you have Brood, you sort of have to help your own lane as well. So I think Brood is very good versus a pressure lane like Tusk Undying.
It's been a while since we've seen the Tusk Undying together in harmony.
Because we don't really get to see so many Tusk plus Undying. Like when you
One
get
gets
the other
banned
one,
out.
the other gets banned. So teams don't really like to give away the two heroes together. It's just too hard to deal with in the early stages of the game. The Tombstone plus the Sigil.
I want to see an Axe. I'm just throwing it out there. One of the few chances we'll get to see it is against the Brood. It's a spicy pick. But
one thing that Mind Control also plays, granted not that much, Legion Commander. At the same time, I believe we have seen Legion Commander against Brood not doing too well because Brood will then just max passive and not really go for Spiderlings.
You go for Orb of Venom and you have passive.
Mode.
Yeah, basically right-click mode rather than Spiderlings.
You go back for the Spiderlings after you win the lane.
Yeah, basically. So I'm not sure if they want to go for that.
It's actually the same with Axe though. You can also beat the Axe by going for the passive build, but it's not as easy since you can still spin. It depends on your luck. But the Brood can also adopt the same method against the Axe.
Building on top of this now that Liquid have already established a good powerhouse duo between this Tusk and Undying. Need a bit of foundation there still. Possibly your Kuro hero. It's okay to be a bit selfless. Or do they still need to put more emphasis on countering out this Brood? The Dazzle. A classic.
And you don't really want to give away like Dazzle plus Brood if you can like together. Because the Dazzle can be the hero that moves to the Brood's lane. To actually get the heal bomb and release the Brood's tempo into the game by removing, like you get kills and you actually allow the Brood Mother to push the tower.
Like this response, the Night Stalker.
Dakota, if Fada is not allowed to play Razor, according to you, what do you want him to play? Beastmaster. I heard that, and then I actually thought, but is Beastmaster good against Night Stalker? Because he, you make the bird basically useless because you're gonna get an axe, you're gonna get a gem, you won't see the hawk.
It is nice though that if you're gonna be stuck without vision to begin with, it's better to have at least a little.
Yes, you can definitely use it at the start of the game until that Night Stalker has enough.
I actually like the idea a lot because their lineup right now is pick plus push. Beastmaster allows them to get the initial stun off, get a kill, and you proceed to push with the Tombstone plus the Tusk. So I think Beastmaster has a lot of synergy with their lineup.
We are going to get a Juggernaut though. The Matumba Man Juggernaut here. Not going with the Ember Spirit. It is available. It's nice to see him get to do something.
Ember just has too weak of a laning phase against Brood. You're going to get too much problems. I think if you go for the Ember in the early phase.
Quick response from Virtus.Pro? It takes him no time to be like, oh, we're going Bane. Is Bane just that easy quick counter to Jug, or they just knew that Bane was going to be the pick
Both.
regardless of what was
They
there?
probably
think
wanted a
both.
roamer as well, like a solid support that can actually provide them with disable, because they don't have disable with the other 3 heroes. You have silence, you have slows, but you don't have a hard lock stun. So Bane provides them with that, and it's good versus the Juggernaut. So I guess the moment they saw the Juggernaut, it's like, oh great, Bane is even better against this.
I think also it pairs up really nice with a Night Stalker because you get that extra vision, or rather you reduce vision of your enemy team, and you can Nightmare/Fiend's Grip from Fog, which is of course really strong.
Virtus.Pro's lineup is just very scary looking.
And it seemed like they're so confident.
Yeah.
They're like you said, no bonus time used.
Yeah.
Look at the bonus time used on Team Liquid. They are actually, they know that they're on the ropes here.
Yeah.
And it's not on the ropes because they already secured to go through to the playoffs, so that's good. But you wanna make it into the upper bracket.
No
We're
razor,
not gonna
no
see the
razor for you.
Razor.
Beastmaster.
I've called it for 4 times now, the Beastmaster, but
Yeah,
watch him
Beastmaster is
go.
actually quite useful.
oh,
against
the
this heroes.
Dragon Knight, come
Oh,
on!
well, we mentioned Dragon Knight earlier as well. I mean, at that point, it
Yeah.
used to be one of his favorite/best
Sir
best heroes.
Davion.
Dragon Knight is also a similar. I think they fulfill the similar role with the Beastmaster. You stun and you push with your lineup.
Yeah.
If you compare it to the Beastmaster, Dragon Knight doesn't need to wait for that longer cooldown for his stun. You
Yep.
can always have his stun,
You get the breathe fire for the brute.
and you're
wing to
you're
farm up
much
a
more
bit.
tanky
Yeah.
against the
Ooh.
brute as well.
Talking about old school, by the way, because Fada used to play this a long time ago, but at that era, it also was played a lot in combination with the Juggernaut to make sure, because you can push really early on, and you have that sustain from the Dazzle and the
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
Mhm.
They can actually, like, Brute is not going to do that much early on in the game. Queen of Pain, sure, will be doing something,
But their
but
lanes are much stronger though, Shiva. Like they have Queen versus Dragon Knight. It's obviously
you
Queen
don't think
favored.
they can still push early?
Yeah, but you can obviously use the fact that you are stronger in the lanes.
Yeah.
You win your lanes and then you delay the push long enough that you can have a lot of items on your heroes. They're gonna be split pushing with the Brute and the Queen.
True.
So if you can always buy a lot of time,
Can you not
like you-
outpush them, you think?
take a good trade, like you can maybe get an early Aghanims, then you delay the push and Brute will be knocking on the high ground. There's a lot of things like that could have happened in the game. And Night Stalker will be vision control to get pickoffs. So
Yeah.
every pickoff they get will buy a lot of time for them to get ready for the high ground defense.
How do you think Liquid should win? Like, what should they do to win? Because Virtus.Pro's lineup is so strong, and including
victory.
vision. What's the
Mhm.
key to victory? Yeah.
Get the levels and group up and push because they want to avoid the Night Stalker getting pick off. And they don't really have a good hero to actually kill the Brood Mother, like to gang him from far. Like they ban out the Spirit Breaker, and you guys mentioned like Beastmaster is obviously also better against the Brood Mother. So I feel like the Brood Mother could be a breaking point for Liquid where they couldn't deal with the Brood, and the Brood slows their push down a lot.
Now, Virtus.Pro up to this point have been very snappy with their draft, but they seem to be spending an extra moment, or maybe they already know and they just want to use the time of the
They
clock.
just plan to
need
pick up the Lina, I
the
think.
Illidan hero, you know? What
We
can
have actually seen Illidan Core, which is also why Liquid bans it out. Vengeful Spirit Core. We saw it yesterday.
It's a Virtus.Pro classic?
It is. I like it. They didn't win with it yesterday, did they?
I want to say they did.
Yeah, but
I can
even
look
though
it
I
up.
saw them win a few games with Bench, but I'm not really that convinced with a carry bench. I feel most of the situations, if the carry bench is winning the game, you can also win the game with
They
another
did win.
carry.
You're right.
I mean,
They did win with that.
But why going to someone like Avenge over any of those?
You have
Just
really
the
good. Okay,
raw
you have
base
really good stats, and you provide a lot of damage with
Yeah.
the aura for your team. So he's a very team-orientated type of carry. Like you can do it even with a support, right? You don't really need him to be a carry. And the other reason why you don't really want him to be a carry because you want to use the swap to save your team. But when you're a carry, then you're like, oh dear, that guy's actually dying. Do I actually swap myself into that position to actually
Yeah,
save
you don't
him?
want to be a martyr when you're a carry. You need someone to save you. You're not there to save someone else. And that missile can be easily disjointed from the Jug and his spin. We saw that in the last time
Bless
they
you.
had this kind of
Thank
matchup. So it's going to be a bit of a sticky wicket here for him. But now that the match is underway, it's game 2 of Liquid going toe-to-toe against Virtus.Pro. Let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters right now. It's LD and GoDz, gentlemen. Have some fun.
Thank you very much, Dakota. We're back. We're live. GoDz VP. They took game 1 versus Liquid. And with that, in very good position here to advance as top 2 in the group. Liquid desperately needing a win as they head into the second game. Mangoes aplenty have been purchased, and the teams are getting ready. We see an early Observer Ward drop down in the Radiant safe lane. Lil going to make his way there and perhaps try and contest for this bottom bounty run. So, thoughts on the last game, GoDz? Thoughts on the way this one is developing? Seems like there's a little more group up and push from both teams this time around.
It feels like overall VP a bit more versatile with their drafts and kind of capitalizing game one with a slight outdraft, knowing that Liquid's picks in general are fairly predictable. They have like a small set hero pool for each player that they like to go towards, and some of the heroes are slightly out of the meta, will catch some teams by surprise, or maybe catch some of the teams who aren't used to Liquid by surprise, but for the Western teams, Liquid are very much, to me, a team that's been somewhat figured out.
Let's see if VP can continue to figure them out here. G not going to have the Drow aura at his side, so his laning stage might not be quite as fearsome, but his Quap was just devastating last time around. And, you know, I like the fact that Liquid are going away from the Ember. It just seems like the Ember Spirit has not been working for them. This is, I don't know, 4 or 5 games this event where it feels like even if they don't lose with the Ember, that it's just not having that explosive impact that we've seen from other teams, that we've seen from Liquid in the past. So nice to see them trying something a bit different.
I do worry for Liquid this game because against the Brood, you want to be able to catch and kill the Brood. They haven't really got the lineup for the heroes to do it. They haven't got like any Spirit Breaker type hero or like the old classic Stormster. I didn't really feel like, oh, they needed to storm this game, but none of their heroes are great for hunting and sniping the Brood. They're going to get Brood a 1v1 matchup, which means Brood will get plenty of levels, should win this lane.
Just started off. They can follow up with a bench stun, then the Void can come out. Matumba Man will try to run, but with auto attacks, they might just be able to kill him. One more, the long range lob. Illidan gets the job done. Nice Blade Fury, but not going to help him in this case.
That's not a good start because realistically, VP should have the edge in both the 1v1 matchups, and now the aggro trailing gets an early first blood. That's like the dream start for VP here.
Yeah, your Quap versus Dragon Knight mid. Quap is going to crush this lane for sure, especially in G's hands. DK Phobos, safe lane Brood up against the Tusk. We've seen Tusk do okay in this situation, but normally that means getting your levels, farming a bit, not winning versus the Brood.
Yeah, Brood definitely has an edge. I'd say in a lot of ways, Brood likely to take over this lane if there's never any support help there, whereas DK can somewhat just Bottle Crow, get some farm. Like, DK's never expected to win his lane, so we'll see if Fata can get a fast level 6 and maybe look for a rotation towards bottom, try and go for an early gank into a tower push, but very likely G just makes a counterplay. If you're not getting a solo kill in the DK when you hit level 6, you're picking up a TP and going to one of the side lanes as soon as there's any action.
Well, try is going to continue. Illidan, I believe last time we saw him, oh, they get another sleep. Lil, he can start this off with a Void if he so chooses, but Kuroki gets off the decay, and that's not really the hero you want to be focusing. Matumba Man sees opportunity, a very low HP, and quickly brought down. Support Bane, Illidan trying to turn this one around, but the decay will finish him off. Kuro strikes back, makes it a 2-for-1, and even things up here on the bottom lane.
Yeah, Lil just seemed to get a bit greedy going for the room when his teammates really needed him with all the action happening.
They're right back, and everybody just respawning. No time to breathe, no time to rest, just time for death and destruction. They have slipped up Derek, they go for the stun, and they'll burst him down again. This sleep and avenge stun combo, surprisingly devastating. And although it's back and forth bottom, GoDz, they get a little momentum on Liquid side. The solo lanes have just been massacres so far.
Yeah. Absolutely, and the Jug's not farming, so it's somewhat back and forth even as far as the kills exchange go, but Venge, 9 CS, pretty poor, but Jug sitting on just 4, so...
She's still the leader in net worth. She's gotten
with
the first blood,
and
I believe a bounty rune perhaps at one point as well. Not sure, but yeah, she is quite rich.
And Ring of Aquila with a magic stick. Illidan is very fighting fit right now in this bottom lane. Doesn't have the boots, but you want more of the defensive items, the early magic stick when you're against the Undying Dazzle especially.
So what do you do if you're Liquid? Lane's not going that great. Your pull camp has been consistently blocked. They're not even trying to pull. Should they be making any adjustments here? Should they gank? Should they swap the lanes? Do they just have to suck it up?
You got to win one. Like, at this point, you got to focus and win one lane. That may be the bottom lane if you want to TP in Mind Control once he gets some levels. But Mind Control sitting on a dust makes me think they're going to be looking for a kill on DK Phobos.
Another sleep, but this time, Derek somewhat protected. Kuro is going to scare them back with a 2-hero decay.
Well, mid lane, G goes in, gets aggressive.
Uh-oh, Fada trying to man up here, breathe fire. Almost enough for the kill, not quite. Does get dangerous. Kuro engaging again. He's up to 5 decay stacks. Can they tame the beast? Doesn't seem like they want to fight when he's hitting for 82 a pop. Oh, maybe they do. Bane, with the rate of Aquila, actually fairly durable. Yeah. That armor definitely helping out. But Lil, it's time to find a haste turn, and it may be time for G to just blow up this tri-lane. GoDz, they have no vision. They don't know where Rooney got. They don't know if he's coming bottom. In fact, though, it is not that direction they head. Instead, VP, they're going mid. Courier also here. Might be able to get both. First, they want to kill off Fada, though, and the Courier will flap away. Fada surviving for now. 1 or 2 more auto attacks will get the job done. Lil hammers it home. And even though they've rotated support off the lane, still they're absolutely fine bottom.
And
No
it was
pressure from
a
Liquid.
cancel TP. I think it was Dazzle trying to TP in to go for the Grave play, and Illidan canceled it at the bottom with a magic missile. So nicely played by VP. And it doesn't really feel like this is going to be a crazy Tusk game for Mind Control. He just TP's back to the top lane after all this and can't solo kill the Brood at all.
It's been a long time since we've seen a full-on aggressive tri-lane, and let alone since we've seen one work. They stun Kurogi, trying to burst him. Now there's stick charges on Jerax, so he actually does have mana for the Grave. They'll sleep Jerax now. Kurogi squirming his way back. And it looks like he'll make it out in the end. Close call, but maybe Jerax not so lucky. They continue to pressure him, poking away with auto attacks. And big aggression here from FNG. The double tango through. Jerax just wants to get home, and Kurogi actually sticking around, running back in. He's really playing with fire here. Sure, he's got the level 2 tombstone, but he's awful squishy. Now they'll salve him. And now he'll be relatively safe.
Lane's just falling apart completely for Liquid. Quap has Sonic Wave, is ready to look for a kill in the mid lane. Lil actually TP'd in mid, primarily to refill G's bottle, but the secondary effort will be to try and go for a kill in the Dragon Knight. But at this point, it seems Dragon Knight well aware of Night Stalker's rotation. And
They're 2v3, and they want to fight.
Yeah.
They're looking to jump in here.
That's pretty absurd.
Against an Undying, even. Normally a hero that does well in these situations.
I guess Bane things, being one of the tankiest supports in
Uh-oh,
Dota.
Kurogi, the Grave's going to come out. He's down to critical HP. He can at least get it to chaos. Maybe drop the tombstone. Oh, Wave of Terror. Having a little fish there, Illidan. And they're going to drive both back. Leaving Matumba Man entirely on his own.
Yeah, so
This Venge is just doing work in the laning stage.
and just another TP top from Mind Control. He just keeps kind of coming to lane, getting a bit of farm.
Oh, he's got a
And then
lot of
TPing
Spider-Lings,
home.
but still the net worth isn't there.
He's 1,000 net worth behind DK Phobos, and we're talking like 50% increase in farm on the Brew. There is just no contest there.
No contest, and no contest mid either, because hey, it's not a 1v1. A matchup that already the Dragon Knight struggles in. It's a 3v1 with Mind Control likely to go down next. Phobos forces out the TP. Well, oh, he thought about going in again. More spider lanes. And the babies are going to have to back off, but Phobos has worked his magic. Now they're going to take down mid. This leaves the Venge alone bottom lane, and Illidan just auto-attacking as treads up already, pushing out the lane with the Bastiara, I believe, currently activated. Yeah, indeed it is. They are all over the map, up in Liquid's face, no room to breathe. This is just painful to watch. Get off a Dragon Knight stun as Jerax quickly finished off by G. The leap forward could happen. A little bit low on mana here for Bane. Doesn't actually have a brain sap, even with the 2 stick charges. Would be short, but G's going to march in. He sees Kuro, hangs onto the blink. He can just walk away. He's forcing out the TP rotation. Night Stalker, pretty aggressive from the high ground. They're thinking about it. Now he decides to run. In comes Mind Control. They desperately need this, even though it's just a support, something, anything for Liquid. They'll get it, but it's going to come at the cost of top.
Yeah.
Or Phobos is hammering away at the creep wave.
This is just coming at the cost of the entire map. Like, Jug isn't farming at all against the Venge, who can just keep on right-clicking away. The Healing Ward going to negate some of that, but doesn't really feel like it's doing a whole lot. Phoenix's Suicide's level 5, kind of reaching that point where you stop going for that play, but if you're low and you spend all your money, it's actually still going to be faster because you have to walk all the way back to base, then you have to wait to heal up before you can TP out, so punishes his score a little bit.
Swap bottom. Matumba Man, though, is going to calmly Blade Fury. Well, I don't know how calm he is. They really want to punish him. To force out the Jerax TP. Meanwhile, mid lane, Fada also in danger. There's a Quap Bolt available. Dragon Knight jumps just far enough away that there's no chance for a Dragon Tail turn. Very well positioned and played by G. We'll find yet another kill. Kuro just watching it all happen, and back to bottom where Matumba Man gets clawed up. It has been such a long time since I've seen a laning stage this one-sided, but my god, 5,000 net worth advantage. Experience the same. The Bane will at least die mid, so something for Liquid.
Yeah.
But only something. And that comes at the cost of top.
That's
Tower's
just
now
like
down.
getting an Invis rune there. It's always a Tusk with an Invis rune level 8 at this stage. Should be finding a kill
And they
4
want
times out of
Jerax
5.
Going super aggressive here. Lil almost dying to the tower. Had the stick charges. Maybe forced to use them. Yep, he'll pop it. And the push continues. Phobos banging away top.
Here comes
Matumba
G.
Man trying to hold this, but they're going to go back in bottom. Jerax, where's the backup? Where's the help? There's nothing. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Why don't I give you a little hug and a trip back to the well? Free, I promise. I won't charge you anything, except whatever's in your piggy bank. Another kill. They try to push down mid, but the glyph was used. Well, or sorry, FNG sitting back. Looks like they may have to sacrifice their tier 1 mid. Small consolation for Liquid, but everywhere else, the map is just in shambles. 7,000 gold down, Gods. We're not even 10 minutes in.
No, this is as big a disaster as you could ever imagine for a laning stage. It just felt like Liquid had no way of laning things. And it was the second pick Brood. It wasn't like this was a fourth, fifth pick Brood. They had plenty of time to kind of come up with some kind of an answer. I think they were just very much in the mindset that no way a VP just going to go send this Brood to the safe lane solo. They had a bad matchup for him. The stronger tri lane on the VP side as well. And VP just win all 3 lanes as a result. The last pick DK, also just a hero that's never going to win the mid lane, needs some help generally, or you've just got to kind of come back through pushing down towers.
There goes Smoke now, looking for the Brood, but Phobos
gets away while getting
dodges
dusted.
away. Nice and easy.
And ganking Broods is just ridiculously hard unless you catch a vision of him somehow or have some spell that can see him over the trees. Firefly, Storm Remnants, Ember Spirit Remnants. Spirit Breaker with a charge can often keep track of him as well.
Oh, the haste turn grabbed, and it's going to bait a snowball.
Oh,
This could be
no.
another takedown. Mind control in quite far.
Oh, nice
There's no
shots.
Fiend's grip. He does get the sleep off. Shards are in a good position, though, keeping Illidan back for now, but he's got a swap ready. And he is going to use it. Mind control now, tanking a stun, blown up by the burst damage the VP have to muster. And now they chase forward with the darkness activated, diving towards Fada. Tombstone can be focused down. They might even get kills as well. Breathe Fire connects on 3, but they don't care. They sleep Fada. They look for more. No Fiend's grip. Still not quite level 6, but they don't need it. Kuroki almost dead. Now Brood joins the fight. Great. I would love to get active. 4 heroes still. They are fighting into
Healing
multiple
ward.
Breathe Fires. Pretty good engagement by Liquid to even hang on with this massive disadvantage. Omni Slash is going to clean up the Night Stalker. Vada stands strong for now, but a secondary Brain Sap coming soon. Illidan's going to fall. Phobos coming next. Liquid coming back in a big way here, or it looks like it anyway, close to it. They'll sleep. Matumba Man juggled onto Jerex, and finally G shows up. Not sure where the hell he's been this whole time, but he's into the fray. He's actually low, has to back away. Jerex with the long range auto tech, finished off by FNG, but in turn Matumba Man gets the triple as he crits right through his heart. My God, where was the Queen of Pain that whole time?
Yeah. It was,
I don't know if you got to look at the mini-map, but I have no idea what she was doing.
Not sure exactly either. What, the bottom tier 1 tower is already taken long ago, so a bit of damage has been done to mid. Maybe just at the bottom rune or trying to find a pick off in the Radiant jungle, because G did have the Sonic Wave. But yeah, that was a 4 for 3, actually favoring VP in terms of numbers, although the overall gold change was about even between the 2 teams. So still pretty okay for VP. It's been like the best fight Liquid's had, but it was still a disadvantageous one.
So where does VP go now, Gods? They had their dominant lanes. They are still very far ahead at this stage of the game.
They go to the Radiant jungle. They want to find...
Oh,
Oh, well, they're going to find
okay.
Fata. But more importantly, they want to get down some deep wards. They want to try and ward up the enemy jungle, take control of the map. That can kind of transition them into Roche. At some point, I feel like Phobos may want to rotate his webs off the top lane more towards the mid lane, the Radiant jungle, and around the Roche area, because he's going to be one of the key heroes if they want to go for Roche. Brood and Venge, like, there's great Roche potential for this team.
Matumba Man getting grip, but he has currently popped the Blade Fury. No Omni Slash available, but they're tanking the Blade Fury. Standing under it, Kuroki tries to engage with the Decay. Mind Control rolls in. They hang on with the Grave, keeping Kuro alive. He just rushes forward. Zombie Revenge is on the menu as Illidan will get the kill on the Undying, but pays with his own life in turn. And Brood this time not coming to the fight. Queen of Pain also going down, a 2 for 3 exchange. VP getting a bit cocky and being punished.
Well, there we go. That's a team fight victory for Liquid. And yeah, the Blade Fury coming off during the Fiend script just put VP in a position where they'd committed to the fight, but at the same time they could not bring down the Jug in timely fashion. So they were just kind of stuck waiting out the Blade Fury, knowing that they could kill the Jug, but in a position where Liquid, with their counter initiation, they've got good lockdown for coming out from the Snowball, Warrior's Punch, the DK stun, finding around a Tombstone. So Liquid at least get a good retaliation in exchange for their Jug, and the first kind of good signs of life coming out of them. Although still, we just see no items coming on any of these heroes anytime soon. Like the Jug with just Phase Bracer. The only one closing in on something is the Tusk, who's building towards a mech, and it looks like he's a bit over halfway there. But outside of that, there is no item progression on this Liquid squad.
Definitely not yet. Your Dragon Knight, 800 gold, and yeah, that's really it. They just don't have anything.
On the side of VP, you're about to have 2 Orchids, so a lot of firepower coming out from
And
the
so
Brood
much of the
Quap.
fights has been the clutch spells, like the
Yes.
Tombstone, the Decay, the Grave. That all falls apart if a well-timed Orchid gets used. In fact, DK Phobos, he's done with his. He looks to take this game over. G's also complete. Yeah, double Orchid Gods.
Yeah, so
This is scary.
yeah, This is where defending on the... And if you're losing your tier 2 towers, you cannot leave your base at that point. These towers offer you some protection against like Brood, who can't really move around that close to the Radiant base until they've been brought down, but that's about the
off
change.
in the trees, the high ground grip comes out, Quad Bolt will secure it. Matumba Man already having committed an Omni Slash. He needs a little more damage to bring down Lil, spin him to death. Healing Ward now dropped, but G can flick forward onto this. He'll poke the Healing Ward down, and while that's happening, the Tusk finds a pickoff. Still G engaging with the Matumba Man, but the crits are adding up. He popped the drum charge earlier. That's going to wear off. Now G wants to go back in, really wants this Matumba Man kill, but Dazzle arrives. Good teamwork here by Liquid to keep Matumba in fighting shape. Soulburn not going to be enough damage, and yeah, looks like he will make it home in the end.
That was well played by both Matumba and G.
While that was happening, they got a tower.
Yeah.
And yeah, Night Stalker did die down towards the river.
Stop in top. Tusk in trouble.
Brood doesn't have it working yet. Flying out of the courier, not sure if she's going to need it though. Mind control just gets laid into by the Brood Mother. Phobos going to find the kill. Kuroki and Fada too slow to be able to turn that one around. And now, even an armlet nearly complete for Lil. Another big pickup for VP.
Damn, I saw the Gloves of Haste, and when you said armlet, I'm like, wait, Lil, isn't he the Night Stalker? Isn't he going Midas? What's happening here?
I think he was
Night
planning
Stalker.
on it, and then he's like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're just fighting so much. Forget a Midas. I just want to go punch fools.
This is super old school. You used to see this a bit on like your core mid Night Stalkers a bit. On a 4-position Night Stalker, I don't know. It's
If
not.
you can get it this fast, I mean, why not?
Yeah, he kind of feels like a core at this point. He's out farming, not really out farming that many heroes, but he's on par with the Dragon Knight, not that far behind the Tusk and the Jug. Helps him tank up against an Omni Slash if he's on the receiving end of that, and
Gives you armor, gives you damage.
yeah. Have to be kind of careful about how you use it. You will have some HP regen from your earn charges, but not a bad item by any means.
It's more of a pressure now rather than try to choke them later. type
Yeah,
of pickup.
yeah. You kind of always have to worry a bit about when is he going to get the Ags, and are you going to need it? Is that going to be a big problem that his Ags timing is going to be a lot slower? If you go for the Midas, you kind of get that insurance of your late game item progression, which he's not going to have right now. But
What do you think? Do you think they really need that, or do
I
you
mean,
feel
I
like
think-
these other heroes can
I
control
think
the
this
map
armlet
already?
item's pretty questionable, but this pickup, it's there's worse items I've seen. It's like it's okay. It's gonna offer him something as far as damage, like all the things we talked about that it does. Where I can kind of see the reasoning behind it, but I just
Remember,
see
he's also got the Vanjar, which is now maxed, and
that's
there's
true.
a drum.
There's some physical
Although the
damage
drum's almost
amplification.
Yeah.
It just very much is like you pick the Night Stalker for the vision. You don't need more damage out of Night Stalker.
All right, well, he's going to run in first. The armlet's not complete, though. Lil very vulnerable without it. Snowball rolling onto Illidan, but my god, he is tanky. 1,700 health. Easily can stay alive through this. The Bane's going to team out. Now the Quad Bolt over the top as G looks to turn the fight, but the heals from Liquid are keeping them in this fight. In fact, allowing them to come out on top. Night Stalker forced to scatter away. Broodmother did engage in the pit.
They're
Has
gonna
their work
look to
cut out
sneak
for him. The
rush.
Tombstone's going to wear out fairly soon. Phobos meandering over, thinking about killing it, though it will end soon, so I'm not sure it's worth it. Liquid, they're in for this. They're committed. And it seems VP will not be contesting.
They may now with Tomb expiring.
Are they? Wave of Terror. Trying to jump in. There's the swap. The Aegis. Last hit goes to the Dire, but it is snatched by Kuroki, which means VP. They may lose. Illidan, they will. Blinking away his G, though. So a bit of a turn of the tides here. Now DK Phobos trying to run in the webs. He gets stunned up. Do they have the detection?
No.
Nothing on the Radiant. He might be able to turn this. Sleep going on to the Dragon Knight. Matumba Man just rushing all over the place. Man, he is so aggressive with minimal items.
It's really hard to carry detection on multiple heroes when you're playing from behind. So Tusk was like the designated dust carrier. Dazzle had the sentry, which he'd already placed like 2 of around the Roshan pit, but Brood just got out of the sentry detection range. Tusk was dead. I mean, you can't really fault Liquid for not having any detection there when both Dazzle and Tusk are dead. It just kind of, unfortunately, didn't work out too well for them. They do sneak the Aegis, get the Aegis out of it, but the more
also on
important...
the Undying, which is probably not
It's a
ideal.
bad Aegis carry, and they needed money more than they needed. Well, the Aegis on like a Jug or a DK would have been nice, but they would have much preferred the Roche last hit than an Undying Aegis right now because they are far behind in farm.
That Brood kill would have been sweet, though. She's sitting at a whopping 10k net worth. Could have really left the den.
It really feels like VP play really well with the Illidan Venge. I think a big part of it is that it doesn't take up too much farm. He's actually gone for more of the utility, frontline tank items. He's 1,700 plus HP. And then it just opens up more of the farm on the map for DK, Phobos, as well as G. G takes a lot of farm on this team, which is fine. It suits their playstyle when they've got heroes like Venge or Illidan.
Grab a blink on the Dragon Knights with some real initiation now on the table for Liquid. Not sure what that circle's about top, but Brood is going to move into the lane now, and Phobos close to his BKB. They have quite a bit of physical damage for the Brood. We'll definitely want to make sure they carry detection in the future. And now we see 2 packs of dust, 2 sets of sentries. After that Roche fight, they're not going to make the same mistake again.
So, good vigilant play from Liquid. Actually a point booster for Kuro, so we'll see a straight Axe Rush out of him.
If the game's going to keep on being this many large team fights, it makes sense.
I mean, just the laning stage was crazy how many decays he got off, and even like slightly after that when there were more kind of skirmishes going on, he was getting a lot. But fast Axe, he tanks up, gets the 10 strength decay. Not something I've really seen ever have a big impact in competitive Dota, but on paper it's absurd, taking 10 strength with every decay. He isn't leveling decay though. That's where it's kind of, it's not actually going to come at the best time if he's got level 1, level 2 decay. Goodbye,
Phobos assassinated. That's the power of the dust, and that is a big kill for Liquid.
Yeah, that's handy.
Let's see how those work.
T1 mid tower though.
Probably for that. 12.
Only 2 heroes. If there was more than 2 heroes, it'd be more like 16 to 1700. If like Dazzle and Undying were there, get a lot more money out of it.
There's a slight worry with the BKB. That really wouldn't have saved him there. The Omni Slash
G at bottom.
Lion's share of the damage. Oh,
Dives in and feeds away his life.
huh. I thought he was going to back there.
Yeah, he should have back there, but not respecting the DK Blink initiation. Top lane now.
Grip on the Matumba, man. Out of mana, but has the stick charges here. Can maybe stick Blade Fury and just run away. Illidan already committed the swap. He's going to turn on the Tombstone. They've slipped up Kuroki, but he's the Aegis carrier. They might kill him, but it's going to take a while as the Armored Night Stalker looking to mash Matumba, man, into a bloody pulp. Yeah, take that.
And I think
And
they
also
get 2
pop the
kills on
Aegis.
Kuro.
They're going to get another. Kuroki, he tries the run here. Vent's done and done.
You don't
So-
keep decay stacks when you respawn from Aegis. That's no fun.
Oh.
I had no idea how that mechanic would work. I was actually, that's what I was most curious about during that whole fight. I was like, do you keep the decay stacks or do you have to get them again? And you don't keep them when you die.
That would be pretty awesome, actually. if you did.
I mean,
Then
Undying the
then-
new
then
Aegis
you could say it
carrier.
was all a part of the plan
Yeah.
for Kuroki.
Just goes in, gets like 5-6 decays, and then feeds away his life and respawns, gets another 5 or 6.
Lil hunting Fada, tried for the TP. Oh, almost got him.
It's a nifty little spot to TP in.
Definitely. So we're going to see a Queen of Pain Linken's here. Obviously versus the Blink Dragonite, really their only initiation. GoDz will be a very good pickup.
And G loves this Linken's build just because it allows him to play aggressive. It's almost always either a Linken's or BKB as G's second item. We rarely see like an Orchid into an Ag Scepter just because his playstyle very much needs a defensive item with just how kill-centric he plays. Wants to have that. But if it's a game against like lots of AoE damage, stuns, he'll go for the BKB. But when the biggest threat is the single target of the Dragonite stun, Linken's is going to fit in just right.
Liquid are pushing. Grouping up top lane, 4 heroes, but a lane ward scouts them all, marching towards this top tower. The Spiderlings are in position to stall and be a nuisance. Bottom going to breathe fire them, the heal bomb. Cleaning up a few. They are ratting with G. Do they want to fight? Seems not. Matumba Man will grab the tower for free. VP content to hang back. It is nighttime though. Generally this is when Night Stalker lineups are cruising for a bruising.
And VP are very split right now, but it's partially because they're just focusing on their farm efficiency, and they are still continuing to outfarm Team Liquid. And VP, very much it feels like just playing the farm game until they get the next Roshan, which will be respawning sometime in 2 to 5 minutes. The Dire side have pretty good map control, unless Liquid go for another big smoke play, which is kind of, I think, the right move. They've got a strong enough team fight around the pit. Omni Slash with the Tombstone. Dragonite's got the Blink initiation. They're going to have to... now's the time to start setting up wards around that Roche pit, though, so you can kind of prepare for what could be a big standoff.
Well, the Armlet's been online for a little bit now. He's picked up a point booster, but we've seen Night Stalker hit 1 hero since he got it. So
it's a
I
bit
guess
of a-
if you're not hitting heroes, then this item is not offering much.
It was not a good pickup. I think it's very safe to say, and that's one of those. It's easy to say in hindsight, but I think even at the time it was like, this is pretty questionable. It's not a game-losing pickup by any means, but it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about vision around the Roche pit. That's where.
Yes, if you have an
where
Ags
would be sweet.
for the next Roche fight, that
And
is
basically
maybe
would have it if
game-changing.
you didn't have the armlet.
So
They'll make their move. Sneaking in. There's actually no hill ward. Often something you see get picked up here. The Bane will get caught. He didn't manage to defensively sleep. Blown up by Liquid. They pound forward. Heading straight towards the tower. There's a BKB on Phobos, but Omnislash still available as Matumba Man gets aggressive. Into the trees.
Ooh, they
Brood
called
Mother's
Phobos.
gonna fight. On to Mind Control he goes, but Mind Control very tanky. The Omnislash, he doesn't quite have the vision, it looks like, or maybe just not the range. Well, where's the Omni?
where's the sentries? Dust.
They don't have the detection.
Oh,
really?
no.
They have Dust on Jurex.
They're pinging him. They're like, he's
Did he
stuck.
already pop it? Jurex must have already done it.
Oh dear.
He must have dusted earlier and not
There
found
was a
it.
dust from like the lane. I guess it was just out of range.
Yeah, I think he just missed him.
'Cause
Because I'm like, is Matumba Man blind? But no, he didn't see him.
No,
Mind Control
they're
getting
gonna
swapped.
get
There's
caught on
the
the way
Orchid, the Grave. Beautiful play to save him now, trying for the TP out. Is there any way to stop this? No, they committed the swap, the Void, as well as the stun. Kuroki also going to get out. Everybody escapes.
The mass exodus success.
4 heroes just teleport home. This game is turning into a Star Trek movie rather quickly.
Well, hopefully Liquid can channel their inner Spock if they want to turn this one around. They are still in deep shit. They have a Roast they can't really contest. A Brood that's starting to be dealt with pretty well, but that's, I mean, it feels like the Orchid, the double Orchid had its kind of early timing where it could have snowballed VP, but Liquid had a couple good fights, which meant that VP need now like their next level of items. Like, they've got the BKB, the Brood with an AC perhaps, even Queen of Pain with a follow-up to the Lincolns may be needed this game, and you already see VP looking to set up map control around the Roche pit now.
Meanwhile, Liquid smoking again. They're gonna make their way up the ramp. Fada blinks forward, but can't quite find the opening. That smoke was revealed, so he will have to chill. So man back towards mid. Looks like they're gonna push that lane out. Seems Liquid are very confident in their own 5-man right now. That's something VP don't have a whole lot of, gods. Not too many team fight abilities.
Yeah. And Liquid have just itemized to be able to deal with VP. Dragon Knight tanks up, picks up an SMY. Matumba Man picks up a Manta, which makes him tankier, and most importantly, can get him out of the Orchids.
They're gonna go. Initiating onto Fada. There's the silence, the Omni Slash coming through, but it's all on Illidan, and he's way too tanky to burst down just like that. But with the Walrus Punch, perhaps no. He's alive! He's alive! They can't finish Illidan, and when they finally do, it's gonna reduce their own damage. The BKB Phobos going to work. The Bane's here as well. But where's the damage now? Phobos' BKB is wearing off. They've committed the Quampo. They don't have the bench for the damage Aura either. And it seems VP, they're just a one-trick pony. They drop that ult, they get the first kill, and then they got nothing left in the tank. Phobos scurries away. Fada jumps forward. Seems they have the detection. Is there going to be follow-up? Yes, Sentry's there. Punched into the atmosphere. And when he crumples to the ground, the Brood is also dead.
It just feels like Liquid have too much sustain in these fights, and with that, Liquid now the ones who are kind of back in control between having the defensive weave, giving them all bonus armor, the Shadow Wave heal, the healing ward itself, DK being tanky, Tusk with Greaves. Like, every time this Greaves comes out, it feels like VP are about to get a kill, and then suddenly there's a Greaves plus Shadow Wave heal. Anyone who gets particularly low then gets graved up. If they back off to retreat, there's a healing ward to heal them back up. VP just need to be able to burst heroes down quicker, and it's only the Queen of Pain with really strong burst damage potential, so seems that's quickly becoming VP's biggest weakness in their draft, is just the inability to burst any one hero down.
And there's no, and just so single target
Yep.
focus as well. You've got one hero that's got AoE, and that's Quad.
Brood was attacking during BKB with the Insatiable Hunger up and just was like tickling the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight not really the ideal hero to focus. Then Brood switched over to the Jug and was also like, oh, I'm not really doing any damage to you either. Jug has 15 base armor plus whatever bonus armor Weave was giving him. So now there's a Solar Crest as well. This Brood is not going to be able to right-click all too much in a team fight unless you deal with the backlines. I feel like that's where VP has to change their approach to these fights, find the Dazzle, find even the Undying. I think the Tusk and Dazzle are the two biggest kills they can get at the start, but it's hard to do so, partially because they don't have the vision control. They need this Ag Scepter so badly on Lil so they can scout out the Dazzle, get Quap with a blink jump on him, or the Brood just kind of flanking from behind with the webs and the Orchid. They've got 2 Orchids, and they can't kill this freaking Dazzle.
It's so hard though, because everyone on Liquid has a save. You've got the Juggernaut who can save himself, drop the healing ward to help the teammates. Fada who's tanky, Snowball and Mind Control, Greaves there as well. The Grave, the Tombstone to kind of scare them away, Soul Rip to heal up. It's
If you
It's
jump the
just such a-
Dazzle, there's not enough. Like, they can't use the save so much on him. You can snowball him, and you can Soul Rip and all that, but Dazzle is
And
the
Greaves,
squishiest.
I don't know. That's a lot of heal.
Yep. And it's also, you commit very heavily if you make a play like that,
And
because
that's if you
Dazzle's always at
find
the
him
back
as
line.
well, which
Yeah.
is, and he's often like in the
Well,
middle of the team.
That's why you
Protected
really
in the
need the
center.
Ag Scepter for Night Stalker. Not having this Ags is
By the way, this
crippling
Dazzle's
them.
actually not that squishy either. He's got a Solar Crest and a Point
No,
Booster.
he's-
1300 health.
He's now very tanky. A lot of this coming as a result of these last couple of fights. But yeah, he had the Point Booster already and just now finishing the Solar Crest.
He's in beast mode. They're gonna stun Lil. There's fear no vampires. Dragons are stronger. Liquid gonna take down the tower mid. Looking for.
They used Grip on an Illusion.
Oh dear. I don't even know if it would matter, but it's definitely not gonna make anything easier here. Illidan has the swamp available. Does he want to use it? Tombstone coming out, blinking forward to Spada. He's gonna find Illidan. There's the defensive sleep, but it's only setting up for a snowball. Walrus punch right in the kisser. Down he goes. Now Phobos being slowed up a bit. They're gonna dive him. Omni Slash is available.
They used it on the
Oh, he just used it. Okay.
Venge.
Didn't even see it. I guess she's right when she died. But
He went splat.
Rax will drop now, and Mind Control
Hey.
blinking forward, looking for the Bane. Defensive sleep again, not accomplishing anything. G dove under the tower. He'll blink away, but
They're also
VP
tanky.
just
Everyone's
on
got
a-
such high
they're just-
armor.
they're just face rolling them.
Yep.
They're all full HP.
Huge heal.
Full HP, full mana. Why are they backing? Liquid, keep on going.
There's no towers to get. There's a range Rex, which is pretty insignificant,
of
and
course,
tier 2. But yeah, they were actually just like, oh, we took the melee Rex. What do we do now? We can't get bottom. We can't get top. Let's just go for kills. Screw it. Dive tier 4s. After a while, they're like, okay, let's not do this anymore. We're actually not. Even if you get a kill or two, if you trade a life for it, it ends up being not worth it at all. And VP gonna try going to the Roshan pit. G's picked up a crit
Oh,
here,
they're ready for this. They had 2 wards up.
and
They see
LD
it. Shards are there.
still no Ag Scepter on Night Stalker. This may have actually been a game-losing armlet pickup. I didn't think it would be, but
Blink
it's starting to
forward
feel
from
like
Fada.
it.
He's going to chain down Lil. They get the Aegis, but already -1 with the Night Stalker down. Could be more soon. The Queen of Pain ult hits pretty much everyone, but what does it matter? They just all heal, sustain through the Tombstone going. Phobos, BKB, ending soon to Matumba Man. Gearing up for some real right-click damage. He'll slap down the Spider. Slices him up now, wants the Bane as well. And another crit, another kill.
They finally
Four dead.
bring down the Dazzle to start a fight off, but it doesn't matter. They have Aegis. They burst the Dazzle to start things with the swap, but to no avail. This game suddenly just took a complete 180 in no time at all.
Liquid.
Now we get to see the wonderful Undying Ag Scepter too.
Oh boy.
As if Liquid weren't tanky enough already.
It is still the level 1 decay, so it's got the much longer cooldown, but you get the
Yep.
10 strength still regardless. So
A level 1 decay with Ag Scepter. That is
That's something
surely
fresh.
not value.
well, you know,
it'll-
it's Kuroki buys the point booster, but he's not sure that he's going to get this
No,
anytime
no.
soon. So
He's in his mind he's thinking, oh, I'll be at least level 13, 14 by the time I get my Ags, but this game turned a lot faster than he was probably expecting, and
Liquid pour down the bottom lane, streaming towards the VP base, and
Yep.
they engage. Fauna just a casual blink in because nobody's going to actually stop a fire-breathing Dragon of Doom. With the weave going, he's up to 37 armor. They'll swap him, and they do commit. Actually, almost bring him down. Then the snowball, the grave, the next grieves the heal. Kill this dragon! Slay him,
Cannot.
damn it! But he can't. He's almost up to full health at the end of it. It's almost like they didn't even touch him. Illidan's going to go down. Phobos likely next. VP getting bulldozed. Matumba, a casual beat down there, and Bane next, snowball onto G. They want them all. They might get them.
I mean, I feel like this
He
is.
limps
I feel like I'm
along.
watching Game of Thrones here. Dragons are just OP, man.
Fauna-
You can't deal with dragons.
Fada, he healed everything back. He healed almost 2,000 health back in the middle of a team fight.
Yeah. I don't know what I don't like. I don't feel like outside. Okay, we talked about the armor. Like looking at the Brood, you could say like you don't go for the awkward. You go for something which gives you more kill burst damage potential. But there's not like an obvious item that could be a Dagon. This may have actually been one of those very rare scenarios where going for the Dagon 5 build on the Brood could have been
Maybe.
viable because they lacked burst damage. They needed a way to be able to kill whoever they went on and finish them off. It was just the Quap. Quap even went for more physical damage going for the Crystallis, which again, maybe you go for a Dagon, maybe you go for an Ag Scepter. It didn't feel like VP quite recognized the threat that the heals and the sustain and the huge armor that Liquid's lamp had was going to be for them, because VP just at no point in this game, well, once they kind of reached the mid game, they never really had a way to burst anyone down.
Their death ball was just ridiculous. They
Yep.
were down 8k gold, and they were just winning 5v5 fights straight up. Like, granted, VP didn't always engage the best way at first, but man, it does show for Liquid, first of all, a lot of poise, but I think more importantly, GoDz, that they really understood the idea of their draft and how to execute it, and they never strayed from that even after the lanes were, I mean, just a total disaster.
Got owned in 3 lanes, didn't matter. That's impressive to come back from that.
You know, I know a lot of us at BTS have called this Liquid squad very, like, traditionally Chinese in their execution, where they're quite safe, they're very patient, they tend not to overextend too much, and we see a little bit of it here as they do take game number 2. And with that, let's see what the analysts have to say. The standings in Group A getting very interesting now.
The panel now with Winter and Shiver, and well, that looked like certain lane dominance for Virtus.Pro, the Broodmother taking over and taking control, and it just felt like Liquid were getting bullied. We were convinced this might have been a quick game, but I don't know. Was it Virtus.Pro with a bit of overconfidence? They seemed to itemize very strangely. The armlet grab for Lil on his Night Stalker, was that a bit of a misplay there, Winter? What did you think about that?
Yeah, I think it wasn't the most optimal choice, and because after winning the laning phase with the Brood and the Queen of Pain, they move into trying to take too much team fights. I feel like even with the disadvantage in terms of net worth that Team Liquid had, they had the superior team fight composition. Like with the Mag and the Tombstone, they were able to take a fight with, 8,000 net worth behind. They were still able to win a fight. I felt like VP had to focus more on speed pushing. That's when the armlet came into question. Like, if you wanted to speed push, obviously you wanted to have an Aghanims on the Night Stalker instead of the armlet. But they wanted to actually try and fight because they felt like the advantage they have was enough for them to actually brute force their way to victory, but unfortunately it wasn't. And the other item that I felt maybe could have helped their cause was also the Aghanims on the Queen, because it would have helped them split push, delay the 5-man, and allow the Brood and the rest of the heroes to actually pressure the other lane. So just food for thought for...
Liquid just were so resilient, and eventually after they were able to withstand that laning phase, they became this well-oiled machine, and there was just so much sustain. And with that, they were able to just kind of siege on forward and take absolute control. So with that, we end up with a 1-1 draw. Shiver has been calculating now the situation.